my name is Idahosa, the head of the Nigeria Token team for Mara. I'm a DeFi analyst as well as a researcher. I'm also a decentralized finance educator where I teach people about the blockchain technology as well as the Web3 ecosystem. Today for the Blockchain Masterclass, I'll be moderating a panel session which will be talking about the impact of community in the Web3 ecosystem, where myself and 3 others who have actually had several impacts in communities will be talking about the entire community buzz in the Web3.
I believe everyone here, we're having a wonderful time so far. So for this session, we're going to be talking about something that I think everyone here should actually know of. Because in the Web3 space, as we all know, I think what is actually carrying everyone along is being a part of a community. There are several communities, like right now, we have Empower Her community, the 3 Ladies community, then there is Women in DeFi. There are so many of them. I could like list 6, 7 communities on the spot right now that are doing great for people, that where they educate people. And our panelists right here, they'll be telling us about what they've learned so far by being a part of a community and also their experiences as leading various communities. So please guys, pay attention because there'll be a section where we'll be free to ask questions. So feel free, when that time comes, just start writing your questions there in your jotter, ask them, drill them, and you see, they'll answer you. If they don't answer you, I will make sure they answer you. So just get ready. So we'll be starting with Uche. Would like to know, how has being in a community helped you so far in your journey in the Web3 space?
Okay, so I think one thing that is clear is you cannot do without a community. Because for the very simple reason that you don't know everything, right? For me, community serves different purposes. Yeah. One of it is a way to sort of crowdsource knowledge. Right? So a community automatically becomes a repository of knowledge, right? So what it helps you do is helps you understand or get a sense of the direction that an industry is heading in, right? There are technology tools, happenings you've probably never heard of, right? Up until when you get involved in a community.
Now to Miss Precious. So quickly, could you please tell us what impact does being in a community have in anyone's career?
On your career as a person, there's just this boost that the community gives to you. So when I've contributed on several projects just by being a community member, or when I'm the first person to like get the opportunities that are being posted, I'll be far ahead of somebody who just doesn't do anything, because information is power, information is key. And if you're not in the inner circle where these things are being dropped, you might want to do something. You might want to land the next job in Web3 or tech, but because you don't even know where to find these jobs, and you don't know that these jobs are being posted in the community, you're missing out on so many things that will accelerate your career. And I think that's what has helped me a lot, or has helped every one of us so much, is because we are members of the community. That's why when Mara is hiring the next community manager, we are the first people to know, because we are in the inner circle. So if you want to get those opportunities, you want to have a boost to your career, it's even down to your social media pages. Let's say you drop a post today. I made a post yesterday, and I saw that the ripple effect on my community on that post. When I wasn't so much into community, I could drop a post, nobody will even like it on Twitter. But when you drop a post, they know that, oh, this person is our person. So let's relate to, we can all relate to what she's saying. That's just like the effect of community. And also for referrals too. It's easier for people to put in a word for you. I think there's a scenario, a very clear scenario of this Google lead. Our guy that has been contributing so much to GDG communities, and it's just easy for him to switch careers in Google and just move further. So if you've not been the one that has been contributing to community, you will just be there in tech, because if you want to go find tech or you want to go find Web3, contribute, and you just watch yourself soar in God's grace. Yeah, that's what it is.
Thank you very much, Miss Precious. I think I can actually relate to what she just told us. I think before I ask the next question, Miss Elizabeth, get ready for me. I'm coming to you next. I would like to share with us a short story. Personally, I am someone who belongs to a community, and what I am, or rather where I am right now in the Web3 space, wouldn't have been possible if I wasn't in a community. So sometime, I think early this year, a member of my community was invited to an event. I think Mara's very first event here in Nigeria, and she's based at Jos, and here I am in Lagos. I didn't even know something was going to happen. So she was the one that told me, like, she dropped it on our community channel, and she was like, there's an event happening, blah, blah, day. If you know you can attend, just register with that link or send me a DM, let me connect you with the people. And that was how, like, I told her I'm in Lagos, and that day was a free day for me. And I found myself at the Mara very first crypto drinks that they had in Lagos. And trust me, guys, it was from crypto drinks that I attended as a member, like just a regular attendance, that I am right now in Mara, working with them as a full-time staff, not even someone that you say just a short-term contract. Please, I would like to know from you, since you are a community owner, would like to know from you, let's say if there's someone here who would probably want to start his community tomorrow, what are the mechanisms behind building a community?
I am actually going to be as practical as possible because community management is something that I am so passionate about, and I've been doing it now for 5 years. So I started up my community because of the passion and the love that I have for women. Actually, I love my gender so much, like so much, yes. Yeah, then something else that actually spurred me to start up my communities back then in school when I was in my first year, second semester. There was this rave of tech, and it was basically about coding. So I had a friend who codes, and I'm like, hey, what's up? Please, I would love to learn how to code. And he's like, are you sure? Because coding is not for women, it's for men. You should just focus on school and possibly get married. Yes. Even up till today, I hear so many men make such nasty statements, and it's actually very nasty. Yeah. So I'm like, whoa, are you serious? I'm like, you know what? In my mind, I'm like, I'm going to code, and I'm going to bring as many women as possible to code. And they will code, and they will have, like, great jobs. Yeah. Woo! So that was how I started. Then I started volunteering for GDG, Women Tech Makers. Then I also started coding on my path. But after, like, 1 year or 2 years of coding, I dropped. Why? Because... Don't laugh at me. It's not hard, actually. So you all should just calm down. It's not hard. I can do it. Okay, so I stopped, right? And I stopped because I realized my strength. And my strength is actually in community building. My strength is in bringing people together to do stuff. My strength is in, like, pushing people forward. That is my strength. So when I stopped coding, I just, like, continued volunteering, right? Now, for communities, during my first question, I said something about you trying not to be dormant. Also, trust me, it makes more sense that you also volunteer with these communities. See, volunteering is something that has helped my career a great deal. That I am here today speaking, and so many things, it all came through volunteering. And so I continued. So when I realized that, okay, I would love to build a community subsequently. Now, these are the steps that I followed, and I think that would help you. First of all, I sat back, and I'm like, who do I want to build these communities for? And I'm like, it is for women. In what field? In tech. I checked that. That's one. Now, the next thing I did was, where do I want to focus? Is it in Nigeria? Is it in Lagos? Is it in the US? Is it in Canada? Is it in Kenya? And I'm like, okay, you know what? I was like, that should pause. Then I sat back and I researched, and I found out that most communities are focused only in their particular continent or country or state. And I'm like, okay, I brought in my product management skill. And I'm like, okay, since this is more like a problem, right? every product, everybody is focusing on something. I could actually just merge everything together to build something that everybody could actually like contribute and do. So I'm like, okay, you know what? This community has to be for persons in US, Canada, Nigeria, anywhere, as long as you are female and you are willing and ready to learn. That was it. Then the next thing is that, okay, starting up this community, definitely it is called community. Community is a group of people. Only me cannot handle it. It's not even possible. Like, I'll just die. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I need a team to actually work with. Okay, so what basic team? Content, community management, social media management, graphics and design, and those vital things. And that was it for me. Then I'm like, okay, the next step now is to do what? Publicize, talk about it. But before I publicize, I had to reach out to these girls that I thought that, okay, they would actually do something. And there was something that I did, right? Every member of my core team currently, none of them, I mean none of them knew anything about tech at all. That was my aim. I wanted to just like pick up women that don't even know nothing about tech and let's all grow up together. And that was how I started off my community. Then subsequently, we started getting larger. Then also, now, this is phase 1. I have built this community. It is different for you to build, and it is also different for you to sustain, right? Building is one job. Sustaining is also one job. So I'm like, okay, I built it. What next? I had to like come up with programs that would help these community members get better. Then before that, I chose WhatsApp for communication because, I mean, most persons don't know how to use Slack. So we started with WhatsApp until we now taught these girls how to use Slack channel. And currently now, we are there. So we had trainings and boot camps. Plus, if you are building a community, have it in your mind that anybody that is joining your community is joining because they actually want to benefit from your community. It is never about you, never. It is always about them. So you should try and learn to consistently sacrifice for these people. So I continued. I'm sorry, but let me just wrap up, yeah. So I continued and we had programs. All this I did with my team because I couldn't have done it by myself. So we had programs, like we continued training and grooming women. Then the community became larger. And in the space of 1 year, we have over 2,000 women currently. And we've trained about 1,000 of them currently. Yes, so now when I realized that this community was larger, and now step 2, they are benefiting, true or false? True or false? Exactly, they are benefiting. So now step 3, I have built a community, somehow I have tried to sustain it. Now, these women, they are learning technical skills, right? And somehow, these people, women, they go through stuff like mental stress from family, from friends, from work, from relationships, right? So now, we thought about like, we cannot just make this community to be for learning. It should also be a safe space. So we now came up with something, one-on-one session with these girls where they come to just rant about stuff, talk about everything that is happening. Now, I can say that we successfully built a community, we sustained it, we trained it, and we made them know that we love you, we care so much about your career and your mental health, making it a very, very safe space. So the process goes like that continuously, but these are like the basic steps to building a community. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Miss Elizabeth. Thank you. I think we've heard it from the founder's lips herself. She said, when you are building a community, the first thing you need to know the kind of community you want to build. If it's a dev or for women or for men, after doing that, then you decide, like, I think the space she used was WhatsApp before Slack. Exactly. So you need to know where your community would be, where they're going to thrive in. Then the next thing, if you want to focus, yes, the focus of your community in terms of geography, right? Their geographical region. If you want to focus in just Nigeria, like in Nigeria, if it's just going to be Lagos or every state in Nigeria, but of course, since it's going to be on the internet, you could also decide, okay, everyone from everywhere could be a part of your community. Then afterwards, you've gathered these people. You need core team members who would actually assist you in bringing these people together to also educate them in other aspects. So you need people in your team who would be allocated different roles to help educate your females and also help do other things like a community manager, probably the one who would be in charge of your money, like your head of finance and all. So you need different core team members to help you run your community. Then I think the next thing she said was yes, sustaining the community. You need to have activities that you could, like, you'd use to thrill your audience, that used to hold your community together. And yes, aside that, I think the very last one she said, which I really did love and enjoy, is the fact that you need to make your community a safe place. Now, there's no point in having a community or building a community if the members of your community cannot easily come to you to tell you something. I think, yes, to have easy conversations with you. We've heard of cases where people just build communities, and after a while, we hear that the community, the members of the community don't even know who the head is or who the founder is. That's because the founder doesn't even give them attention. So while you're building a community and you're also doing these activities, make yourself available for your community members. Have talks with them, because man, if your community people cannot communicate with you, is it me that is a member of your community that will come and communicate with? So you need to make yourself available, make sacrifices for your community. And so I'll be going next to the one who is a community manager here, Miss Precious. Please, I'd like to know from you. Let's say I'm a member of a community today. How can I contribute to your community? Like, if someone joins your community or any community, like, how can people contribute to communities?
Okay, so being a community member, the community is for all of us. It's not just one person that owns a community. So it's just like you said, it's a bond of people with different skill sets coming together. So as communities, or let me just relate it to Web3, as a DAO, you get. You know what we do there? We are trying to build products by the users for the users. So irrespective of your skill set, you have to be able to contribute to what you know. Are you an engineer? Then build. Are you a content creator? Then create content for us. Are you a marketer? Then go into the marketing aspect and do the marketing work. So what DAOs have been able to do is that they create bounces so that when community members participate or take up these tasks, they are rewarded with tokens or coins. And it's very, very beautiful that you're freelancing as a community member and you're getting rewarded with tokens. So this week, I wrote a tweet even yesterday about contributing to DAOs and how to get started. And my clear experience was just a DAO that I tried contributing to. So I got into JoyStream DAO. So they're building a product that, I don't know, that for digital media. So there's several tasks for people to, community members to like take up. So the HR team will assign you a task when you've created your profile. Then you can now contribute, write what you want to. If you want to go into blogging for the community, you blog, and they now give you like a token, which you can cash to BCH or USDT later on. So these are ways that Web3 has been able to modify community contribution for people or community members. So as community managers or as community contributors, we always have like, what do they call it? Either a Notion board with open tasks that we need our members to like contribute to. So you go there and you pick up tasks, and don't just come into the community. If you're confused, ask questions. I know that community can be very rowdy and people need a lot of information to get started. If you're confused, ask questions. Me, it took me a while to understand, but I kept on meeting the HR. Okay, I've done this. I even submitted my tax wrongly. And they told me, no, this is not where you're supposed to submit it. Move it to another thread, move it to another forum. And I went back and I did it. And I make sure that my contribution was recorded. So the community is about all of us. We are building this product together. We are building Web3 together. And you have to contribute your own quota, your own part. And if you're not doing that as a community, and even though there is no tax to contribute to, initiate it. That's why DAOs are like existing. There's a forum where we vote. There's a platform for proposals. In Web3 ladies, we even have like a thread for you, create a thread for you, a form that you fill out your proposal, saying, okay, this is what I want to do for the community, and you start contributing. The end goal is that you are building this thing for yourself. You're not building it for me. You need to be proud of yourself. Like, I'm talking about how I've contributed, and I'm so proud speaking about it. I think that's the best feeling that all of us should have as community members. So, contribute. Okay?
All right. Thank you very much, Miss Precious. We've heard from her. Please, it is important to know. So now the last question personally from me, before I'll start taking questions from the audience, I'd like to know from each and every one of us, like, is it possible for someone to build a strong network from a community, be it as a member or a leader?
Okay, I think I'll go first. Yes, it is very possible. I think that's the beauty of community, basically. A strong network. Strong network is, you know, this they used to say, your network is your net worth, Abby? Yes. So, and in a community, if you're coming to a community, it's different people joining from different geographic location, with different background, with different network and net worths. We are all not the same people in our community, right? So, I have a community member who is living in Dubai, and she works in blockchain, and she's, you know, she's well advanced. So, and I have somebody else who is just starting out too. So, the community, bringing it together enhances my own network and whatever I try to do. So, this is like a strong network of different people from different perspectives or perceptions or backgrounds that I get to connect with just because I am a community, you know, member. So that's why I say join a community, because you don't know who you can find in it. You don't know who you can connect with. People just want to, there's some people you cannot talk to on a normal levels when you see them anywhere. Because you know that on the norms, we are not, somehow not trying to be shady, but you know that you people are not. But because of community, because we are in the same workspace, we are in the same Slack channel, I could send you a DM on Slack and I'll say, this is what I need, and I need you to help me with this, or, you know, just because we exist together, and the person somehow has to attend to you because there's a body that is connecting us. There's a connection somewhere, which is the community figure, the name of the community that is binding us together. Do you understand? So, you know, it's very true that community can affect your network.
Thank you very much, Ms. Precious. Now, Mr. Uche.
Yeah, so yeah, I agree with everything she's added, right? However, it comes with a condition. Now, and I'll say that because I've been part of some communities where I got nothing from it, right? I got absolutely nothing. In fact, I had to decide and just leave the community because I was like, this thing is, no. So there are cases where you will be active, right? It seems like you are the person even trying to carry or push the community forward, right? In some cases, you find that the level at which the community, the people, so it's a mismatch. Sometimes you find that the community may be ideal for entry-level people, right? But maybe you are just above entry level. And then all of a sudden you realize this thing is not working for me, right? So I think the first thing, like we've all, you know, Elizabeth said in the beginning, is you must find the right. You don't have to join a community and stay. If you join it, you thought this is what they do, right? But once you join, see, in the first 1-2 weeks, you're able to tell, this is not what these people are about. You just leave, right? So it's important once you get that bit right, you find a community that is able to offer not exactly 100%, and I will not kid you there, but at least, you know, a percentage, maybe 60-70%, right? The remaining 30 may be something you were not interested in, but you find that it's actually useful to you. So if you find that match first, then of course, definitely, by all means, right? The community will definitely add to you. I think another tip I also like to do is, because it's tech, a lot of stuff is evolving. In Africa, we're also trying to play catch up in some areas. So I usually would also want to be part of international communities, right? I find that helps a lot, international communities. So yeah, so have more diversity in the community, right? So, but that means you also have to be open to a lot of things. You would have to learn. You're going to have to get used to, you know, I won't forget there was a group where I was trying, you know, Nigerians, we can be very playful. So I was trying to be playful with a guy, and I think the person was Asian or British. And somehow, the thing sounded to the guy like I was making fun of him, you know. And I was like, oh, no, right? I'm not. It's actually a compliment. I'm not making fun of you. You know, that's an extreme case, but I can be very playful like that. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. So for me, I would say yes. A community is very, very vital for that. But first things first, everybody is talking about what you would benefit when you join a community. And I am asking you, what value are you giving to that community also? Because, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. In this life, it is give and take, tit for tat. Like she said, if I continually dish out value to you, I'll get drained. I will not get drained because I am not getting value from my source, but because you are not doing the same thing for me. It will become parasitic. Yeah, so in as much as you want to grow your network, your value, blah, 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 you should also ensure that you are also giving back to that community. Mostly if that community is a community that has helped you grow in your career space. GDG right now, GDG is a community that I would never leave, no matter what happens. Because when I started my whole tech journey, it was GDG that really showed me the light. And till date, I am still with them. So like, and anything that GDG does in Benin, I am always there. Like, I have to travel down every time because this is a place that I can call family. These are persons, Joseph, my friends, like they were like, Lizzie, do this, do that. Do you understand? So, and I made sure that as I have gotten from these persons, I have to give back to them too. So that's just it, basically. Yes, community will give you strong network, blah, 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 blah. But if you are not giving back to the community, you're actually doing yourself harm. Learn how to dish out value to people. And if you are just collecting, you will not grow. Because I believe something. I believe that once you have a particular skill and you keep on teaching or talking about it, you get better. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A round of applause to all our speakers. Thank you very much for the wonderful session. Before we end, please, is there anyone here who have any question? If you have questions, just put your hands, okay?
I've learned a lot about community building and being a part of the community. And the one thing that the speakers have kept hammering on is give value to the community. Now I want to bring this home. This is a Mara community. Right? So, most people here, some people might be developers, teachers, technical writers, designers, and all. And I know they might have this question in mind, so I will ask it. Currently, what opportunities do Mara offer to community members? What opportunities? Because when you know the opportunities that are available, then you will know exactly what you are bringing to the table. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the wonderful question. I'm sure you know that Mara has a Telegram community, right? Oh, just yesterday. Oh, you are late to the party. This is why this is why we always say when you come, you always come. But don't worry, I'm not done. Or it doesn't matter. Now, there's a thing that's been going on in the Mara community. We've been doing a lot of competitions as well as recruitments, where there was a time we needed moderators for the Telegram and the Discord channel. Trust me when I tell you that the people that we got off to be working with us right now for our Discord are members of the Mara community from Telegram. They were the ones who actually got the info first, and they applied with their various CVs and they got it. So aside that, there are a lot of other contests and even competitions that have been going on in these various communities on Discord. I think they just concluded the meme contest for members of the Discord community, where all you have to do is create a meme. Some people literally just had to go and change some things from other existing memes, and they actually won. I think the winners got 100 USDT each. So there are various opportunities in being a member of the Mara community, be it on Telegram, on Discord, or even the Twitter and Instagram. I think the cell phone contest was on for people with highest referrals, and the people who actually won are still people from the Mara community. So being in the community, actually, there are a lot of opportunities. We've just started. So trust me, there are a lot more from where the other ones they've come from. So thank you very much. Oh.
The community is a sum total of different kind of people, just like you rightly said. There are developers, there are designers, there are teachers, there are a whole lot of different people. And the perspective that you can get from just interacting within the community, whether you are interested in speaking with people that are, you know, strictly crypto focused, or whether you're interested in talking to people that are strictly technical, front-end focused, or whether you're connecting with people that are looking to participate in Hack the Mara and win $100,000 US, right? But really, there's something for you in the community, and the sum total and the summary of it is growth.
The truth is, the bane of the community is how you're able to come up with content, you know, to help people and help one another grow. So I was thinking, what are some of the programs that you will suggest? Perhaps there's anybody here who is a community lead or something, to make sure that the communities they have keeps existing. You know, how do you plan programs? What are the programs you plan? Although you mentioned some just now, games and all of that. So what are some of the other things you can do to keep your community alive?
So being a community manager, it's one thing to like get people in, to launch a community. It's another thing to like keep it engaging all through. So you have to come up with a roadmap, a strategy document on how you're going to keep this community engaging. So every week, just like you run a business, you have to have lists of activities, events that you need to do. So I'm just going to give you like a practical example of what we do at Web3 Ladies. So Mondays, give them a post, motivational post. That's fine and good. Tuesdays, we should have, on Thursdays, we have an AMA session. Every Friday is coffee chat. So coffee chat is like everybody as a community comes together. Let's discuss onboard people, new people, and just talk about what we do as a community. There's also community town hall, which is like, let's have a feedback from the community that we are building. We have Web3 series where we have a Slack channel where women learn about all things focused on Web3. These are like, I think I've listed over 5. These are like things we try to plan every week so that our community members can like benefit from it. And so get Notion, because if you want to be community, you need to write a lot. You need to document enough. The numbers have to like speak for itself. Do you understand? And you make sure that all of these events, there's a recap. You don't just do events and there's no recording. So what would new community? So create a community wiki today. Every community, if you check for developers DAO, there's a wiki of all the events that they've done in the past and to do in future. There's an upcoming series of events and activities. For us as Web3 Ladies, we have a community wiki, step by step of everything, both events, mentorship. Everybody has focus areas that they need to work on. These are like things you need to probably plan and implement if you want your community to be existing in the next 5 years. But because without structure, you just be running on vibes and inshallah and activities. Do you get?
All right.
Thank you very much. A round of applause to Precious.
What parameters would you use to judge that your community members have benefited from all the benefits that have been provided to them?
Every program that we do, we usually like have feedbacks, and we always want sincere feedbacks. So now, if we have a bootcamp training for, let's say, 100 girls, most times, like it's usually like 40% that would end up graduating, and that is because we want to like push out quality, so that when we say we have trained 20 women, we know that yes, these ones, they can stand out anywhere, right?
My question is more of a personality question. Have you ever encountered a situation where a quiet person, a quiet member of your community turned out to be a great contributor to your community?
The current design lead in my community, she's a very, she's a super quiet person. So how I actually got to meet her, I went for one event in Benin, and I saw her, and I was like, hey, okay, no. She reached out and said that she wants to get started in tech, but she's very calm and she's quiet, but that she doesn't know what to do. And I'm like, okay, do you know what? First things first, I would mentor you. And I am so proud of her. I am so proud. Even at some point now, say that sometimes my community's work suffers because of her job. And I'm like, you are growing. I called herself. I was like, hey, what's up? If you want space, if you want to step down, if you want time, I mean, it is fine because you are better. At least now you are making money from this thing. So it is fine if it is clashing with your job. And she's like, Lizzie, I can never leave this community. Now, that is her dishing back value to a community that helped her. Thank you.
Amazing.
You mentioned something about trustworthy as a trust candidate. So I can relate when you said something about developers. Yeah. So how do you know a developer? How do you know a trustworthy candidate during an interview?
Seems like he wants me to give him the 411. So, but okay, anyway, it's fine. So this is the advantage of being in the community. Okay. So the first question, someone asked me a question today, and he asked me, what would I advise, what do I look out for in a good engineer? Earlier on when I started, way younger, I used to think it was the developer that knows the most stuff, right? Knows the most recent tech and all that. But what I've learned over the years is that the first thing I look out for in any engineer is tenacity. That's all. It's tenacity. And I found that as long as the engineer is not dumb, right? And the truth of the matter is, you can't be an engineer and be dumb. It's going to be impossible. You will suffer. Like, it's going to be very hard. So as long as the person is not dumb, what I found is that if you give me an engineer, 2 engineers, one finishes first class, he has an IQ of 150 or 160, right? But, when I discuss with him and I'm not able to find evidence or traces of tenacity and perseverance in him. And you give me a guy, he finished with 3rd class, 2-1, 2-2, whatever, I don't care. And his IQ is just average, and it looks like he struggled, to build himself. And I see tenacity. I pick the guy that has tenacity. Because it is tenacity you need to become better. And an advice, something I'll give here, people should take away is tech is like every other job, right? But what I found is that because tech is rapidly changing, right? It changes very fast. So you have to genuinely be interested in it, or you must be comfortable with chaos, right? If you don't like chaos and you want stability, I'll advise you, leave tech, right? Tech is not for people that want stability. Tech is for people that enjoy chaos, right? So that is, and because of that, right, I found that also, if you want to grow in tech, go and pick a role. There was a guy who were interviewing one time, and he gave him an engineering manager role. He's a very good guy for my interview. But he said stuff. He said, when the HR came back, HR said, he doesn't think he's ready for engineering manager. He doesn't want to take it. And I was like, wow, this guy doesn't get something. Because what I found is, if you want to grow in tech, please wear the pants that are bigger than you. Enter the shoe that is bigger than you. That is how you grow. You'll be saying, but I will not rest. Yes, but tell them, trust me, growth doesn't happen in comfort. Growth happens in discomfort and in challenge. So yeah, that's why I picked tenacity.
The most important things that you should not, or you should never forget from all they've said is, while you're taking yourself, or you're saying you want to be a part of a community, you should have something that you are delivering to your community, because this is actually a big problem in several communities we have today. People just want to join to collect, but they do not want to give. So no matter how little you think it is, make sure you are giving something back to your community. So thank you very much once again. A round of applause for us.
As we all know, Mara is a new startup in Web3 space, and so many people do not know about Mara yet. And our base market at the moment is Nigeria and Kenya. But we have a lot of Nigerian youth, in as much as the buzz around saying that Nigeria is one of the top countries that deals with Bitcoin and the entire blockchain space. Trust me, a whole lot of people do not even know what this means. I think I was privileged to speak to a couple of persons who just heard about the event and they said that they want to be here because they want to learn. So I believe if Mara continues to do things like this, we'll be able to engage more persons in the country to know more about crypto, and then whatever it is that we're building, we can carry everyone along.
Follow us on our Telegram and Discord channels.